It's a new year, a new season, and we are underway.
Really dominating fashion here today is going to win.
2, 3, 4 for the final time.
Win number 1 on the season, only just barely.
He is going to win here at the Nazareth Speedway.
Wins the Emerson Electric 100K.
Gonna be Igor Barretto's gonna eke it out.
Cup Series champion is Shane Lake in the number 15.
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
For the first time in the Body Armor Cup Series in this 2021 season, we descend upon the Willow Springs Raceway. For the first time all season, we will be making left and right turns here, tucked in the hills of Rosamond, California. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Amazon California Grand Prix. The Willow Springs Raceway, tucked away here in Rosamond, California, one of the oldest road courses left in Road America. Gonna go 9 turns here today, 3 to the left, 6 to the right around this very fast road course here. You're gonna see quicker lap times. It's got one of the higher lap counts we're gonna do. I think it actually is the highest lap count of a road course to do all season. 23 laps here around this racetrack here today, just 80 miles north of Los Angeles, California here. It is going to be absolutely thrilling, coming off of a spectacular race at Phoenix International Raceway last week. We saw Colton Yo go up 15 positions in this driver standings, up to position number 10. And he's going to be chasing down a whole bunch of guys in front of him as the top 25 drivers in points here today. Yes, that is right, the top 25 come in separated by 100 points, a full race spread amongst the top 25 in points. This points format is tight. The battles are getting intense. And for the third race of the West Coast Swing here, we are at Willow Springs Raceway today, joined with 2 men in the booth here today. We have with me Brennan Wilmington and Chase Harris joined alongside me here today, and we'll go round table here, starting this discussion off here, pre-race here. But Brennan, first road course of the season. Obviously, you have a lot on the line here in the West Coast Swing. What are you expecting here today at Willow Springs?
Obviously, it being on a road course, it's going to be a very different kind of race. I have never actually seen this racetrack in action, so this will be the first time for me. So I'm kind of coming in I'm coming in pretty blind as well. So I'm not exactly sure what we're going to be expecting, but considering some of the other road courses we've seen, it's really going to be about how you go through the passing zones, being able to overtake in that way.
And we go Chase Harris here. Obviously, you know your way around a lot of different road courses. You've won at Lime Rock Park before. There's not a lot of turns on this road course. Do we think it's going to make passing a little more difficult? Is it going to up the intensity of this? Obviously we always know coming to a road course, those qualifying positions, they're definitely all the more important than you usually would be.
Oh yeah, I mean, qualifying, especially pretty much any road course, you want to qualify up front. Passing will be a little bit difficult, especially with, as you said, the turns that it's really a big portion of road courses. So you got to qualify up front, you got to be able to pass. So definitely one of these guys up front are going to be the ones to watch today.
And as we take a look into that, starting on the pole position today is the man who happens to come into this race with the points leader, our season opener winner, Caleb Rose. We've gone 7 for 7 to open the season with different winners. Could he look to join that illustrious list of 2-time Body Armor Cup Series winners and be the first man to 2 wins here? He's going to be gunning from the pole and the points lead here with Dustin Davis 5 points back. Justin Zidell holding on in third at 9 points behind him. Scott Upton up 3 positions is now 10 back. Brett Zier is 11 back. David Johnson lost 4 spots at Phoenix International Raceway, but he's only 13 points back. Daniel Bouchard in the number 50 for Jacoan Racing lost 2 positions, but he's 25 back. Ryan Durrani, who starts in the top 10, is 28 back. Angel Olvera, that's where you start to see the gap open a little more, but he's 45 back, which is still easily maintainable. And obviously, you got Colton Yo there up to now only 49 points off of the lead, and Igor Barreto up 8 positions to only 51 points back. And again, you look down that leaderboard, 100 points separates first at Caleb Rose to 25th, Herja Larvin Alonso, with Zachary Fitzwater right behind him in 26 at 102 back. So, to say the least, the points are tight as they've ever been. It's one of the biggest spreads I think we've seen that could swing a race and a championship around here today. It is round number 8 of this season here, our first road course race of the season. And with that, the cars are going to be pulling off a pit road here. It's Caleb Rose in the number 22 DeWalt Ford Mustang on his first career pole position alongside Zachary Fitzwater in the Team Velocitar Mustang. Row number 2 is going to feature Andrew Williams alongside Jesse Turner, rocking the Husky Chocolate scheme this week. Row number 3 is last year's champion Brandon Nelson looking to break his slump start to the season. Had a good run at Phoenix, looks to carry on that momentum. Alongside William Brock, and behind them, Ryan Durrani, both the Buck Racing cars inside the top 10 with Adam Macrow right next to him. Keegan Thompson gets one of his best starting positions of the year in the 69. And 38 of Logan Williams in rounding out the top 10. Take a look there. You've got, I believe that is Haslam, who won Nashville a couple weeks ago. Dustin Davis, second in points right now. A lot of big names back here. A lot of interesting things to watch for today. 23 laps. We'll pit just after halfway, so about lap 12 or 13. So one stop, no yellows as always. Kick it around Brennan, then Chase. Who do we got winning this race today?
Well, I think that the person who wins this race will be someone who starts up front. So I'm actually going to go with our pole sitter, our points leader, Caleb Rose, to win this race. Because you can't get any better than starting up front.
Yeah. I'm also going to pick somebody up front. I'm going to say the 28 of Andrew Williams gets it done today in that Reese's car. Very good looking paint scheme and starting third. Good starting position. I think that car is going to victory lane here today.
Well, we are going to find out either way. It is stacked in the Ford's favor. They have 5 of the first 6 positions here. Looking to add to their win column here in the 2021 season, but Dodge Challenger pace car leads them off of turn number 9. Caleb Rose, Zachary Fitzwater. And for the first time all season, ladies and gentlemen, we are road course racing in the Body Armor Cup Series. Green flag is out here. We're racing at Willow Springs.
Caleb Rose is clear out of the first corner, and he will assume the lead from Zachary Fitzwater. And the battle for second commences between Fitzwater and Williams, but Fitzwater will get out to second place. He's going to try and challenge Caleb Rose back for the lead. He's right to the back bumper coming down the straightaway.
Here they come up the hill into the Omega here in turns 3 and 4. There's Taco Bell corner up the top there. They got to be really careful here. You can slide the car wide and you can get off into the sand trap there. Down the hill into turns 5 and 6. Rose leads, Fitzy chasing out back. Andrew Williams, Brandon Nelson cleared Brock, so he's up in position. Jesse Turner there holding on for 4th, but not for long. Andrew Williams side by side with him as they race down the back straightaway into the sweeper at turns number 7, 8, and 9. You got Nelson, Macrow, Brock, and Logan Williams. All 3 of the American Motorsports cars are in the top 10 as we speak. Dustin Davis moving up, Thompson sliding back, Sakala's moving up. Field spreading out here, just going to cycle through. I didn't see anybody make any contact there at the start of the race. Everybody looks to be good so far. Caleb Rose, though, as he comes off of turn number 9 in the sweeper onto the front straightaway, he leads lap number 1, and he's got himself a solid lead built up over second place, Zachary Fitzwater.
Yeah, you can see the battle for second is heating up right now between Fitzwater and Turner, and this is going to allow Caleb Rose to pull away in that number 22 machine, so you guys have to be careful. Not to let him get too far out. I do know pit swag will play into factor here today, but you still got to be really careful making sure that leader doesn't get too far out.
That leader, Caleb Rose, he's already jumping out to a huge lead here early in the race. Cruising up to turns 3 and 4. Going to slide it around that middle high lane of that turn. Lands it perfectly into 5. Fitzy slides a touch wide. This could open the door for Williams in the 28. He'll send it down in the corner, way up the back bumper. You see Brandon Nelson into 18. has not had a great start to the season so far, just mired back in the points positions. I can't even see where he is on this. There's so many names on here, but he's had a terrible start to the year. Not a great start to his title defense. He would love to get that turned around here today. Oh my goodness.
Several cars in the pits.
Lots of damage too.
Oh, that's Ryan Durrani. He started in the top 10 too. And then you've got Brett Sierra, and I think that was Alonso in the Singtel Camry for Davenport family. So already you should see the replay on the top, bottom left of your screen or bottom right. There will be the Carnage cam after the race. So that is going to be our first replay reviewed here, but cars settling in. And the one thing to note too is we take a look at the lap times. Only 118 lap times, even though it's 23 laps. This is sort of a sprint race, you're not going to have a lot of time to make up positions here. If you're some of these drivers who got a bad start here, you're going to have to get on the attack and start chasing down this leader quickly, because Caleb Rose is already a second and a half out to the lead here, and he's building that gap up.
Sure is, and like I said, pre-race, there's no better advantage than starting on pole at these road courses, and Caleb Rose, showing why that is, got out to a tremendous lead. Drivers fighting behind them, but Fitzy is clear to second now and is going to try and catch Caleb Rose as we round the final corner and come to the end of lap number 3.
Yeah, Caleb Rose in that 22 is looking really strong right now. Of course, he's got that fresh air right now. The guys that are battling for second right now, especially Brandon Nelson, he's really right behind Zachary Fitzwater, so that battle for second is heating up, but with that heating up, that's going to allow that 22 to just keep pulling away and away and away.
Got the Australians there. Fitzy in the 15. Nelson in the 18. It's not been a good start to the season for Australia as a whole, because Noah Clifton as well in the 97 has not had a good start to the season. Take a look there. No other carnage since that initial big wreck that we saw. Caleb Rose. Oh, here goes Nelson to the inside of Fitzy, side by side, coming off of turn 4. Now they're going to race down the hill into 5 and 6. Let's see if Nelson can send it around the outside of that left-hand turn. He'll get a good run now heading up the hill into turn 6. Now they're going to make the long downhill run down into turn number 7 here. Fitzy, Nelson side by side. Who's going to get the advantage here? Give the advantage. It looks like Nelson could have a shot. Oh, Fitzy's going to get a powerful run on the outside, but coming back onto the front straightaway through turn number 9. Brandon Nelson is going to clear Fitzy in that 15, so put the number 18 JBL Toyota up to second place. But that is a long hill to climb. Up the hill into Castrol Corner they go. Brandon Nelson now 2.5 seconds behind Caleb Rose, so needless to say, it's probably going to take some sort of a pit call, perhaps like what his brother Brock Nelson used last season at Watkins Glen to win. He could drive him down. We've seen stranger things happen, or somebody could make a mistake, but Caleb Rose, the points leader, he is looking to build on that point lead here today. He has looked fantastic here in the early going of this race.
He definitely has. Caleb Rose just been outright dominant so far. Very impressive run for the number 22, and obviously the points leader. If the points leader wins out here today, you better know that his points lead is going to extend even more, as Fitzy is under fire. Third position, that is the number 70 of Aiden Macro behind him to try and put that Toyota onto a podium spot. I saw Andrew Williams get side by side with Fitzy earlier in the lap, but he was not able to. And here's another battle. This is for a top 5 position between the 77 of Dustin Davis and the 6 car of Jesse Turner.
Davis on the inside, Turner on the outside. Davis going to get that run onto the front straightaway. Got some guys sliding off of turn number 9 there, back coming onto the front straightaway. Davis second in the points coming into today's race, looking for a big day. William Brock, Logan Williams. Both of these guys who needed good days, and they are having great days with all 3 of the American Motorsports cars currently running 5th, 8th, and 9th. That, if they could keep it anywhere close to that, my goodness, that would be a points haul and a half for them. Everybody still chasing Caleb Rose. Brandon Nelson into 18. Did take a little bit out that time. We're going to focus on the battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th under a blanket here. Fitzy, McGraw, Williams. Going to see if these guys close up a little bit, the gap. Now, Nelson did have a little bit of a gap at the line. It seems like it might be coming down to Fitzy, but he also took a little bit. I could be wrong. It looks like visually on the track he's slowly starting to eat out of Caleb Rose's lead here, so gonna have to see if he has anything. We know Nelson can get it done on the road courses. He won last season at Lime Rock. Gotta wonder here. Maybe Nelson gets a little bit closer. You could get, you can't really pull too much of a strategy right here from 2.5 seconds back, but if you can get that gap under 2 seconds, might put you into a window to pull a pit strategy call once pits start.
Yeah, one guy I'm really watching starting to fall back is Fitzy. I am a little bit concerned about him because he really was kind of falling off his past few laps. He's losing about 3/10 a lap or so, maybe that car just not a long run car, not a short run, so we'll see if that plays out later in the race, but right now he's probably going to lose a few more positions with how that car's handling right now.
Macro really haunting him down there in that number 70. He was having a great run there for the rookie here today. He's got Andrew Williams behind him looking to catch on any mistake that Macro makes. Take a look there. Turner has settled back down into 7th. And you got Equan Haslam up to 10th, so he's having a nice run. Justin Zidell comes in 3rd in the points. He's up to 11th. Igor Barreto's having a good run. Marty Sakala's having a good run. You got Angel Olvera in the 42 having a good run. So you're having a lot of guys here today who really need those solid runs. Having those good runs today. McMillan's in the top 20. Rutkowski's in the top 20. Josh Williamson just got into the top 20. Ooh, he has some damage on that 99. That is not going to be good for him come pit stops. I can't see who he got that from, though, unless he was part of that shunt. He could have been part of that shunt. Not a good day for the Perez family bunch. They are mired back in 28th and 29th. David Johnson is sure to lose some time, some points here this weekend to Caleb Rose, the points leader, but Nelson had the gap down to 1.8 seconds. It's kind of closed back up again to 2 seconds, but he can keep him in his sights. The longer he can keep him in his sights, the longer he's going to keep his chances alive at winning this race. But regardless, he's having a great run today compared to how his season has been so far.
I'm sure Brandon Nelson will be happy with a 2nd place finish, but he's going to want to go for that win. And the key to victory here for him is to try and stay at least within a reasonable distance of Caleb Rose, and then maybe try and pull some strategy in the pits to try and get the jump on Caleb Rose. I really think that winner of this race is going to be determined by pit cycles. Speaking of which, we should have them coming up in about 4 or 5 laps from now.
Pit cycle should start about lap 12, I do believe, so we're closing in on those pit stops. We are closing in on those pit stops here. Some of these guys starting to tighten back up. You got Equan Haslam split the 2 American Motorsports cars, so he's moving his way up to now 9th position, and he's going to go for 8th heading up the hill in a Castrol corner. Ooh, not quite going to get it there. He's going to make Brock have to breathe a little heavier there. And it gets it right down the inside. Can't do much there yet. Oh, he's going to get him just a little bit loose there. And Equan Haslam, he's going to try and give him a run here up the hill into turn number 3. Oh, Haslam and Brock really getting spicy here. That's 72. He wants to gain more positions here and gain more points to move himself up closer into that championship hunt there in that 72.
Yeah, he's definitely making him early, that's for sure. So Haslam definitely trying to make some big moves right now. Of course, passing him doesn't look to be easy, so you can make it work better than, let's say, Lime Rock, but it's a road course, so passing is still not going to be that easy, so hopefully Equan will be able to make his way up there, but right now you got a good battle going on here as well between 61 and 38.
61 Zidell, 38 Logan Williams. Logan Williams comes in 35th in the points. Justin Zidell comes in 3rd in the points. It's a tale of 2 seasons so far for these 2 drivers. Zidell has a really good average finish this season too as well, 15.57. Not too many guys ahead of him in that department. He's going to go side by side up the hill into turn number 1. And he can't quite stick it there yet in that Honda Hamill Racing Enterprise Honda, but he'll now get the preferred line into turn number 2. Moves Zidell into the 10th position, and now Keegan Thompson, who comes into this race 40th in the points, he wants to crack his way inside of the top 11 here and go for more points. Thompson has had a terrible season so far here, but boy, what a good run. Really boosts that team's spirits there. Comes in again 40th in the points. Never say never, you know, you're never out of the championship until you're mathematically out of it. And, you know, today would be as good a day as any for that team to start turning it around, but things are getting interesting up here. Brandon Nelson in that 18 has visibly now closed that gap down to Caleb Rose. He is coming on that 22.
And if I were Caleb Rose, I'd be sweating a little bit because Nelson definitely has seemed a lot faster this lap and has closed in the gap. We'll see what the differential is once they pass the start-finish line here, but like I said, Brandon Nelson just has to stay within a reasonable distance and then try and get him on the pit stops. Rose crosses the line, Nelson crosses the line, and Nelson gained about 3 or 4 tenths over that last lap, so Nelson is coming, slowly getting bigger and bigger in the rear mirror of Caleb Rose, but we will be having pit stops here soon.
Yeah, that's going to be the interesting thing to see. Will those pit stops break up his momentum? You got to take a look here. The 2 Arctic racing machines owned by Trey Smith now up to 4th and 5th. Dustin Davis got by Andrew Williams there coming to the stripe. Now Davis and Macrow still hunting down Fitzy. Macrow's going to go look to the inside up the hill. Nothing doing there quite yet through 3 and 4. Got to give it to Macrow, though. He has really had a great run here so far today. Hasn't had an amazing season, but you know, it's always, as we say, you can turn it around at any given moment with how the points are. Comes in today 28th in points. Lost 15 spots at Phoenix, but Dustin Davis wants to gain those points. You know, he comes in second in the points and knows that Caleb Rose is leading right now. Every point matters for this 77 team, even if it means putting his teammate down. Oh, they're going to fight. Macrow fights back on the inside. Coming back out onto the front straightaway, side by side. Ooh, they might take this all the way up the hill into turn. Oh, Macrow has some bumper damage, it looks like there. I think Macrow actually might have had somebody get into him there. Oh, the gap is closing even more now. 2 tenths off that lap for Brandon Nelson. And they're probably coming into pit this time, if not this time, next time. So it is about to get very interesting here between these 2 leaders of the 22 and the 18.
Yeah, one guy I'm watching right now is Dustin Davis in the 77 because he has charged his way through the field. He's up to 5th and he's battling for 4th with Aiden McCrow right now. So I think Dustin Davis in at 77 has one of the fastest race cars on the track right now.
Davis does have the 3rd fastest lap. The only 2 guys ahead of him in the fastest lap obviously happen to be the top 2, which for the record, the man chasing Caleb Rose has got the fastest lap of the race, and he closed in a bunch that time. Now this is where it's going to get interesting. You can see Nelson's going to be well under a second here this time as they come through 8 and 9. We're going to find out here if this is the lap they dart for pit road, and will they split the strategy. Here they come through turn number 9. Going to come back down on the front straightaway. I think Rose is pitting. And they may all be coming down. Ooh, Nelson closed the gap big time, though, up to the rear bumper, that 18 there, up to the rear bumper of the 22, entering the pits. Let's see if anybody stays out. So Zidell's the first man who stays out. And Joe Rutkowski. So we'll have to watch those 2 drivers when they, on the out lap here, once these guys have all cycled through their pit stop. Because we'll have to see, you know, do they gain any position staying out longer and doing the overcut? Everybody gets onto pit road pretty clean. This, all right, here is the battle we are watching on pit road. Nelson, ooh, Nelson might be a little bit quicker on the right sides there. Let's see if they can get the jack down. They get the jack down to 18. Oh, Caleb Rose is going to beat him out, though. It's going to be very close. Oh, here comes Brandon Nelson. Here they come up into turn number 1, side by side. Brandon Nelson in the 18. He's going to go side by side with Rose. Heading down up in the hill into turn number 2. On the outside, here he goes. Brandon Nelson, Caleb Rose side by side for the lead here at Willow Springs. Oh, this is going to get very intense here coming up into 3 and 4. These two are in a dead heat here for the lead of this race, knowing how important this position is. Nelson knows he may not get another chance at it here. He's going to have to full send it up the hill if he wants a shot at this win.
Coming out of the pit lane, almost identical.
Oh, they made contact.
And they made contact in the middle of the corner. That's going to send Brandon Nelson up the racetrack. And they're really roughed up here as Caleb Rose clears to the lead, but I don't think Brandon Nelson's done quite yet. I don't think he would be very happy with that move. I don't think this battle's over quite yet. But remember, we do have Justin Zeidel, who still has to come into the pits here this time by. So this is not racing for the lead right now, but it will be once Zeidel's in the pits.
Zeidel is in the pits right now. He's definitely not going to cycle out in front of the leaders unless he decides to go 2 tires, because we can see he's just now going over to the right sides. He might gain a few positions, though. See Davis and Macrow still hunting down that 15 of Zachary Fitzwater, but here they come up the hill into turn number 1. It's Caleb Rose, it's Brandon Nelson. As we were saying, Nelson knows how to get it done on these road courses. He's within half a second of our leader, Caleb Rose. And we know these Aussies don't like to be pushed around like Rose did up there on the top of the hill in 3 and 4, but we're going to have to find out, see if Nelson can even get back to the back bumper of the 22, let alone get around him. Ooh, Rose got a little, I think he dipped 2 tires into the dirt there. Coming up the hill. You have to be very careful on this whole 3 and 4 section of the corner, because you got to make sure you get your entry in. You got to get good up here. And then when you come down the hill here, you got to make sure you don't slide the tires off into the dirt here, because that can lose you a lot of time. But Nelson is in pursuit, looking to break his slump here to start the season. The defending champion knows how to get it done, and he wants to go back to victory lane and tie Josh Williamson atop the all-time leaderboards wins list in this series at 3 wins, which would stand those two alone. He's going to have to get through this 22 at Caleb Rose, looking for his 2nd win of the season, and he has been absolutely fantastic here today at Willow Springs.
He absolutely has. You know, that 22 car is really just dominated here today. The 18 has, Brandon Nelson has stuck with him though, and I think he will end up closing in again before this race is over. I think we could see a good battle for the lead. And I'm going to say this, Brandon Nelson, as Brian said earlier, he's not too happy right now after that contact. So Brandon Nelson is an angry driver, and that's not what you want behind you, especially on a road course.
Caleb Rose did open up about 3/10 that time, so we're going to have to see. Keep an eye on that visual gap between these two drivers. They're still close, but it looks like Rose has got a little bit of a gap open up for the moment. These two teammates of Macrow and Davis, they have been just absolutely slinging it every single lap. And check out this 0-2 Igor Barreto. He wasn't even in the top 10 when the pit stop cycle started. He's up to 6. This is a fantastic... If Collins Racing is to win and get another car in the top 5, they are going to absolutely open up their owner's points lead. And Barreto, I mean, not for nothing, Barreto could get Collins Racing a double podium. You have Zeidel battling Turner for 7th. So Zeidel, a big winner of that overcut. You have Angel Alvarez now in the top 10. And Joe Rutkowski's just outside the top 10 in 11th. So safe to say the guys who did the overcut, you had some guys do the overcut there, and it really paid off for them. David Johnson hit something vicious there with his driver's side. Everybody spaced out in the back. Ooh, Thompson. I don't know what happened to Thompson. Davey Johnson, these guys are way off the pace. Shane Lake has some damage. Bartow's off the pace. Obviously, again, the replays will be displayed on your screen here and in the Carnage cam, but for the moment, it's still these two out in front as they've been for most of the race. Rose is still opening up a little bit of a gap. Nelson's losing some time, but he's not losing too much. You know, he still has some time here left to make it up, but he's going to have to turn this around quickly.
He definitely is, and this is reminding me a lot of that last run, where in the first half of that run, Caleb Rose opened out to a huge lead, and then Brandon Nelson started closing in. But Nelson wasn't able to get to Caleb Rose until the pit cycles were over, so Nelson's really going to have to wheel it. He's not going to have... I mean, 7 laps around a road course is a lot longer than 7 laps around an oval, so it's not like he doesn't have, like, any time at all. He can definitely get up there, but he is going to have to start wheeling it here soon.
He's going to have to...
And,
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Matt.
No, go ahead.
All right. something I saw on the previous lap. I don't know if you guys saw that, but the 18 actually went off track. I saw all 4 tires went off the track.
Oh, that would make
lost
sense.
so much time.
That would make sense.
So that definitely caused Brandon Nelson quite a bit of time, because I saw when we had that one angle, I saw all 4 tires did go off the track, and that's what ended up making him lose so much time. So I don't know. I'm not gonna, say it's over, because the race is never over till the checkered flag is out. But it's not looking too good for Brandon Nelson at this point.
Yeah, I did not catch that. I did not see the 18 go off the track. Fantastic eye there. We will have that replay there. Probably not on the Carnage cam, but on the screen. Yeah, that opened up a huge gap for Caleb Rose. Igor Barreto is up to 5th, and he's not done yet. This is a fantastic day for Collins Racing, looking to go what I believe would only be the 3rd double podium for a team in BACS history. He's just got 2 guys standing in his way, Fitzy and Aiden Macrow. So Collins Racing chasing a piece of history here today. Seidel is up to 7th. Got to give that team credit. The overcut strategy worked really well. Olvera's on Brock for 9th, and he's going to get a big opportunity there. He'll go right by Brock for 9th. Now Brock's going to have to deal with Rutkowski in about half a lap or so. It is open up here. Nelson did start to take that gap down a little bit, though, but not a lot. And he's going to have to make up big chunks of tenths in order to catch Rose.
He definitely is. Just about 5 laps remaining in this race. Time is running out for Brandon Nelson. Just barely over 2 seconds behind Caleb Rose. And, man, what a drive for Collins Racing. Of course, he went off the track a little bit. That's going to lose him a bit of time. Looks like he'll still be okay if he just keeps running how he's been running, but maybe the car handling is starting to go away on the number 22. I would be a little nervous about that.
That was a precarious little slide. Rose did save it, but I just don't think Nelson really gained a whole lot of time there with that little slip up. We'll have to see at the stripe. He might have gained a 10th, but he's going to need more than a 10th a lap. He'll need about 4 or 5 tenths a lap if he wants a shot at this. He might be a little bit closer. Waiting for timing and scoring to update at the stripe. Oh, he opened up half a second. Slid off the track a little bit and still opened up half a second. That's the sort of things that our points leader has been doing here this year, and he's just been, sometimes you wonder through some of these races, he hasn't dominated a whole lot of races. He's only led, I think, 3 races up into coming into today. He only led at New Smyrna and the Daytona 500, of which he almost won the Daytona 500. Eric Monaco said, no, I don't think so there. He has just dominated here today. A very, very strong run from our championship point leader. Looking to end the streak at 7 races with 7 different winners. You got to give this 18 of Brandon Nelson, though, some mad props, given how poor they've had of a season coming into today. 34th in the points. This is a huge day for them. Fitzy's holding on strong here for 3rd, and he's been under attack all day from Macrow and Davis. Macrow with a strong run. A lot of guys up here today, who really needed those strong points hauls to keep their seasons alive, and they are getting them here today.
Oh, yeah, the guys that need some points, as you just said, yeah, they are getting some good points today. Still, you always want to go for a win, though. The top 10 run, yeah, that helps. That will get you up in the points, but getting the top 10 is not going to propel you to a championship. Wins are what's going to propel you to a championship most of the time, unless you're consistent. But still, good to see some of the guys that haven't had as strong of a season running up front. So glad to see guys like Joe Rutkowski running up front right now.
Yeah, Joe Rutkowski. Keep in mind, Joe Rutkowski missed 2 races. He wasn't at either New Smyrna or Atlanta. He's up to 20. He's 29th in the points at the moment, but he's got 2 top 10s in his 5 races, and he's looking to crack a 3rd one onto that. It will be 3 laps to go at the stripe for Caleb Rose. Got to say, outside, there's a little bit of carnage here today. Obviously, there's that big one that we'll review post-race, and We'll find out why Shane Lake is damaged. It may just be pit road incident. That's not a reviewable incident. Bailey Pendergast, tough run for him. Scott Upton came into this race. 10 points off the lead. That's not going to last. Got a couple other guys back here who really needed strong runs. You got Logan Williams, who was in the top 10. He fell back to 19th on that cycle. Xavier, Alphaby. Give credit to Polar Star Motorsports. They're going to get a good owner's haul, but the team who wins the day here so far, without a question, though, as long as things hold for 3 more laps here, Collins Racing, hands down, has won the day here today at the Willow Springs Raceway with this points haul they're going to come away with.
Yeah, for certain. But I was going to say, like a couple laps ago, before we saw Caleb Rose go off the track a little bit, Collins Racing's had an exceptional day. Of course, Rose in prime position to win the race, having a pretty good-sized lead over Brandon Nelson and Igor Barreto in 5th. 2 cars in the top 5, that's about as good as you can ask for. It's going to be a huge owner's haul for them. But also, that 70 and 77 team as well are going to get a massive owner's haul from that too, as both of their cars are also running towards the front.
And that's going to counteract. That will counteract. See, Justin Zidell, 3rd in the points. He's the one guy here in the points who comes in today. Well, him and Dustin Davis, actually. Him and Dustin Davis, the 2 guys who really will still keep close to Caleb Rose after today. But, keep in mind, Brett Sierra in that 67, who was involved in that crash. These 2 drivers, Macrow and Davis, having a good run today will counteract that for Arctic Racing. So, not what could have been a bad day for them. They'll still get a pretty salvageable day out of it. 2 cars in the top 10, but 1.5 circuits to go for Caleb Rose, the man to beat so far this season. And, we got some crazy races coming up. You got Las Vegas, you got Armory Digital. We still have road courses at Pensacola, Le Mans, 2 at Watkins Glen. You gotta be sitting here if you're this 22 team and the whole field thinking, uh-oh, this could be the guy to beat at all those road courses.
Caleb Rose, he's just been, really good today. So if I was the rest of the field, I would watch out for that 22 car. Of course, he's pulled a really big gap over Brandon Nelson at this point. Over 3 seconds at this point. So yeah, Caleb Rose, he's on cruise control at this point, and he's going to come around, take the white flag, and win this one once he sees the checkers.
Well, here they come up on to the front straightaway. Justin Zidell's cracked the top 5. So Collins Racing won't get a double top 5, but they'll still have a banger of a day. White flag is out for Caleb Rose here in the Amazon, California Grand Prix. Nelson gave him his absolute best shot there on that pit entry and that pit exit, but this 22 team, they stuffed him off there. You still have to give props to this 18 crew, though, for how bad a year they've had to come in here today and come this close to a victory. It really has got to set the ball rolling into a much better direction for them going to the rest of the year.
Yeah, that's for sure, but man of the day is Caleb Rose, and all he has to do is make it half a lap more, and he will have his 2nd win of the season. He'll be able to extend that points lead, and he led almost every lap in this race, and it's just been a complete domination by Caleb Rose. Started up front. I said in pre-race it's going to come into factor as he comes around the final corner.
Here he comes. You did say that. The pole sitter for today's race, our points leader. Absolute domination here in Rosamond, California here today for Caleb Rose as he comes onto the front straightaway and is going to pick up his 2nd win of the season in his 2nd career Body Armor Cup Series victory. Caleb Rose wins here at the Willow Springs Raceway. Brandon Nelson's going to come home P2 for his best run of the season. Zachary Fitzwater goes 3rd. Fantastic effort for him. Macrow 4th. Zidell 5th. Barreto goes 6th at the line. A terrific day for Collins Racing. Dustin Davis 7th. A great day for him. Rutkowski got up to 8th position at the line. What a run for him in that 44 team and that Doge machine heading to the moon tonight. Angel Olvera comes home 9th. William Brock 10th. A great run for him. Jesse Turner 11th. Daniel McMillan 12th. Andrew Williams slid back to 13th. Marty Sakala, nice run in 14th. Equan Haslam goes 15th. Dale Lightning in the 25, decent day, 16th. Alphabet and Xavier, so all three of the Polar Star cars in the top 20. Logan Williams and Noah Clifton, so all the Australians in the top 20 today. Some other guys back here who really didn't need those kind of runs. Scott Upton, Nathan Baird, Bailey Pendergast. You had some guys here today. They came in needing a little bit better runs than what they got. But the man who did get the run he needed was Caleb Rose. I don't know exactly how much that'll extend his points lead by, but without a doubt, he's going to come out of here today with a much bigger than a 5-point deficit. The top 25, at the very least, are not going to be separated by 100 points here, but we're going to take a quick look here at the Carnage cam. We have a couple of incidents to overview, and then we will wrap it up with our post-race here from the Willow Springs Raceway.
You can see Brett Sierra rounding around the corner. You can see Ryan Durrani get turned in front of them, and he ends up getting into the wall. You're going to see Brett Sierra come up into Hergel Arvin Alonso and just clear the sand trap and hard with the back end into the wall. A massive crash for Brett Sierra, completely missing the corner and went flying literally into the barrier, and that is going to end his day.
And we're going to watch on board here from Hergel Arvin Alonso. See, oh my goodness, Durrani got airtime, and then, oh my goodness. This is going to be a big hit. Oh, that hurt so bad. Singtail was not, well, Singtail was fast down the hill. It was not fast getting out of the sand trap there. That is absolutely the end of Hergel Arvin Alonso's day. One more quick little replay here. Just going to watch a quick shot here to see Ryan Durrani go yeeting off the hill as well.
So you can see right here, Ryan Durrani gets turned right in front of the pack, and that car also catches there. Looks similar to Sierra's. Durrani's going to, ooh, that's a hard impact there with the rear end. That pretty much ruined Ryan's day. So very unfortunate for that 19 car. Heavy damage, and that's going to ruin their day like it did with Alonso and Sierra.
So watch these guys getting on a pit road here. We'll just review this real quick. There was definitely, as we expected, a little bit of a skirmish. Watch the dark blue car of David Johnson behind him. Bartow gets stacked up, and then Shane Lake and the Capri Sun car gets stacked up. Nelson Reeves, I think, got some damage there as well. So that was why Lake and Bartow were so far back. They ended up hitting after that little skirmish. Troxel got some damage as well. A lot of cars there had their races kind of, granted a lot of these guys weren't having good days to begin with, but just exclamation points at the top. Already bad days there for a lot of those guys getting involved in a little pit road. And oh, and there it was. Oh, the two teammates, the Perez family teammates, yeeting each other, getting off pit road. Josh Williamson hit his teammate as well. That is, that's not a great pit road. That's not a great pit road there, but yeah, tough one there. A lot of chaos getting on and off of pit road here at Willow Springs.
And so right here, what I was talking about is you can see Brandon Nelson. He goes way wide, putting too much power down, and all four tires off the ground, or off the racing surface, excuse me, and pretty much killed a bunch of those tents. Just chopped them all away, and very unfortunate there for Brandon Nelson. Yeah, that pretty much ruined his chances of winning the race, but thankfully it didn't do any more damage than that. So still a very unfortunate situation there.
So after reviewing the Carnage cam, we saw all the replays there of some of the incidents we saw here today, but Caleb Rose, he had none of them. He had a little bit of a contact there with Brandon Nelson at the top of turns 3 and 4 at the top of the hill there, coming off of pit road, but he was able to stand firm, and he was able to hold on and secure his second career victory. And we were just talking during the break there, Caleb Rose, at the end of the day, is this close, a turn and a half away from, that could have easily been his third win of the season here. He has had a terrific run to start this season.
It has been absolutely insane watching Caleb Rose consistently be up in the front as he is. And like you said, he could have been a 3-time winner, but still 2 wins, nothing to sneeze at whatsoever. He's got a bigger gap in the points lead, although not as big as it could have been because the 2 guys that were behind him also had some pretty good runs. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it was the pole sitter who ended up winning the race, just like I said in pre-race, and definitely wasn't a snoozer of a race either. And props to Brandon Nelson. He really fought with all he had, but as soon as he went off in that corner, it really killed his momentum, and he wasn't able to recover from that.
Yep. I agree. Pretty much everything Brandon said was accurate there. Caleb Bruce, I mean, been really good this season. And this run is, of course, going to help him, getting a win at Willow Springs here today. But, congrats to Caleb. And, such a good run for Brandon Nelson. He really needed that. So to come home second, not the result that he wanted, but still good to see that 18 team get some points here today at Willow Springs.
It'll definitely help him. Grattan Racing not really having anywhere near the year they were having last year, but the way these point systems work, they weren't having a great year for the record to start most of last year, and then they went to Indianapolis, came back at Lime Rock, and it was just an absolute slap fest from there on to the rest of the season for them. So you never know. Maybe somebody could come. Maybe Collins Racing is posing as Jacoan Racing 2.0 from last season. We'll have to find out and wait as the season unfolds here. But that does it for Willow Springs. We got our next race of the West Coast Swing coming up next. I won't lie, I haven't set a date for it. It may be a Thursday night, it may be a Friday night, maybe a Saturday night. Either way, we'll be under the lights at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Allegiant 600K, so that's going to be more of a sprint race. I think it's only going to be about 45 laps or so at Las Vegas, so that is going to be a super fast race. One of our 2 sprint races on the ovals we do this year, and those are going to be very, very fun, very, very intense under the lights. But that does it here from the Willow Springs Raceway today. Thank you again to Chase Harris, Brennan Wilmington for joining us in the booth here today. Matt Tuck here. Congratulations to Caleb, Rose, and Collins Racing on the victory here today. We will see you guys in Las Vegas. So long, everybody.